Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Lawn Chair Sports Show. Welcome. We have made it to episode 10. Did you know that 99% of podcasts don't make it past 2 recordings? Hello. We've 5-plexed that, all right? So don't know if you heard the news, but we were just announced as one of Spotify's fastest growing sports pods in September. So congratulations, Andy. Hard work and dedication and grit.
Absolutely.
The Dan Campbell way.
Seriously, and we couldn't have done it without all of our loyal listeners, so we look forward to keeping this ball rolling.
Shout out to the loyal listeners. Andy and I had a great weekend. We were in Columbus watching the Ohio State-Purdue game. What a game it was. Ohio State just obliterated Purdue. I have to say, though, I was very disappointed with the overall environment at Ohio State. So, just to give the viewers some context, we flew up from Tampa to Columbus, Ohio, which is a very rare thing to do unless you're just going to an Ohio State game, clearly. And, yeah, we got there on Friday morning, 8 a.m., and unfortunately, it started at 8 a.m. on Friday with me asking 3 college kids on campus. I asked them, I said, hey, do you guys know any bars that are open? And you would have thought I had asked them if their mom had breast cancer. I mean, this was out of control. They were, treating me like I was a leopard. They were treating me like I had asked them the dumbest question of their life. It was so demoralizing to start the trip knowing that I think being 30 years old, I may be out of touch now.
Yeah, I mean, they looked at you like you were asking for heroin. And I kind of got the sense that they didn't immediately understand just how cool it was that, yes, we're 30. We live in Florida. We took a day off to be there on that college campus and drink starting 8 a.m. They just seemed kind of perplexed by the whole thing. One of the kids said, he just deferred to his buddy. He didn't want no part of it. He said, I don't know, ask him. Okay, way to take accountability. And then his buddy says, yeah, honestly, I would say just go pick up a case of beers and just find the porch of a frat house and just post it there and start drinking. Definitely not going to do that as a 30-year-old non-student. I appreciated that he gave us any feedback, though.
That was after the other guy said, I don't know, can you just look it up?
Oh, that was a tough one. He said, yeah. He said, well, maybe if you try Google, then you can find something on maps. He wasn't trying to be a jerk, but it was the funniest. Funniest sincere response.
They had
ever.
to be 18. So my guess is they were freshmen.
They just learned how to talk recently.
They just learned how to talk. I don't think they still know how to talk. So, we were going to wait till later in the pod. I think we should discuss it now.
Let's just get into it.
Okay. Young kids in college don't drink anymore. It's not even like a take. This is just the truth. Young kids in college don't drink anymore. Okay. It was Saturday morning. We were at the Big Shoe, right? That's what they call it. And we were there to have a great tailgate. It was a night game. So we're like, oh man, everyone's going to be out tailgating. So what do 3 guys from the Northeast who now live in Florida who flew up to Columbus do? We prep. We absolutely prepped. We're not going to go empty-handed. We door-dashed 2 24-packs of Miller Lite and 3 8-packs of Surfsides. We were like, hey, listen, we'll just go find a tailgate. I'm from Buffalo. If you did that in Buffalo, every single tailgate would be clamoring to hang out with you. They would be loving you. So we get dropped off in an Uber. We don't know. This is foreign territory, right? We've never been to a game here. It's only people in their 50s to 70s. They have tents up. There's no action going on. In fact, it was dead silent. I don't know if none of them, they all just agreed that they just weren't going to have any Bluetooth speakers as well, but it was absolutely silent. And I'm talking the entire parking lot, silent, no tailgates. We're like, oh, we'll go down the main strip, silent, no tailgates.
It looked like a bunch of zombies. People were just expressionless. I couldn't believe it. They're the defending national champions. They're undefeated. I've heard it's an incredible party school. And it was a beautiful weekend. The weather was perfect the whole weekend. Nice sunny day. Everyone looked miserable. It was absolutely bizarre.
It was absolutely bizarre. But then we were like going into bars. No one was really there. Everyone there, though, is the weirdest thing because you think Ohio State Stadium fits, 110,000 people? No students. I mean, there was no students. You would have thought it was COVID times and they were all taking classes from home. I didn't see one student in the parking lot. I didn't see one student at a bar. We didn't. And by the way, it's not like they were at some frat houses doing parties. Like there just was no one under the age of 30 drinking. It was a bizarre environment. Tailgate, absolute flop. Columbus, you got to get it up. By the way, we spent each of us like what, $300 at the bookstore just to look good during the tailgate, or what?
Yeah, we. I mean, they're probably getting a nice new academic building soon at Ohio State University because we spent big money at that bookstore. We were spotted on Ohio State gear. None of us are Ohio State fans, but we said, you know what? We're just going to do the thing right. I mean, I think pretty much half your clothing is now Ohio State clothing.
I have a large batch of Ohio State clothing that I'm not really sure if I want to wear again. But anyway, guys, the point is Gen Zs do not drink. It's over. They're done. They quit. Apparently, they read the studies. They think it's the smoking of our parents' era. Just like we look down upon smokers, they look down upon drinkers now, and it's weird. It's a weird spot to be in. It's also weird to see a lot of 18 to 22-year-olds because you do realize how much older you are, and that, my friend, hurts. It hits. It hurts. At least for me.
It really does. I think when it really hits is when you would just ask them what you think are normal questions, and they are just, it's like you've absolutely broken them. Even at one point, we were at a rooftop bar, and I just asked someone, hey, this is the first time we've been to Columbus. Any cool spots you think we should check out? And it's like the guy's brain just froze. He looked at me like, yeah, I mean, I don't really know. It was crazy. It was nuts. And that's not even a drinking or not drinking thing. I don't know if I can communicate with someone 10 years younger than me. It's wild.
Yeah, not to bash Columbus anymore, but let's bash Columbus some more.
Yeah.
Okay. Every single person that we ran across in Columbus was either one of the scariest people I've ever seen in the Kroger's, with the guy with no legs who was dressed up as a girl who was staring at our friend who was a girl with us, or the other guy with no legs at Kroger's who was speeding through the aisle at 100 miles per hour with a Kroger employee behind him on his scooter. So madness everywhere. And those were the nicest people. The normal people were incredibly mean and rude, and no one was smiling the whole trip.
Yeah, Kroger was a wild display of life. And yeah, I hardly have a rooting interest in college football. I kind of want Ohio State to lose just because everyone was a weirdo. And it seemed like they were already upset. So I don't think losing that game would have changed.
People in front of us at the game, you want to tell them about them?
I wish I could. I feel like I have no recollection of these people.
That's right.
I
weren't paying attention.
I was not paying attention to these people.
Andy missed this whole thing. So listen,
I was there physically.
I was having a great time. You know, the boys were feeling themselves, okay? And God forbid someone cheers when Ohio State scores in the last seconds of the half. Yeah, I screamed. I was screaming. I was pumped. I was high-fiving the people behind me. But boy, the family of 6 in front of us, I thought they were going to call the cops on me because I murdered their child. I mean, that's how they were looking at me. I thought I was in the library when they were looking at me. That's what they were looking at me like. I was out of place to be screaming at a stadium full of 110,000 people. It was bizarre, but made some friends behind us, but the ones in front of us, absolutely ridiculous. I will say though, my highlight of the weekend was I did stand up very quickly once, and I did have a full drink in my left hand. A portion of that drink ended up on the dad in front of me. He immediately, at the same time as his kids, looked back at me like this, and I did what only a legend would do. I also looked up behind me to pretend as if the water was coming from some other source. I think their mom realized it because she did start laughing, but I played it off too because I they looked at me, I looked back, and then I looked real quick and they were still looking at me, so I just kept looking. I just outlooked them because I didn't want to make eye contact with them, and I certainly wasn't going to admit my mistake and apologize. So
that's a great way to do it.
It's just what it is what it is, man. That's the truth.
And I do think there's one more. I mean, there's one more character we have to hit on during the Columbus experience.
Yeah,
it was a tough moment. Saturday morning, we got dragged into going to some fancy coffee shop. I don't know. It's a famous coffee shop. I don't fully understand why. There's a line out the door. And, okay.
Like 50, 60 people out the door.
It made no sense. We were traveling, so we didn't have coffee back at the house. But otherwise, you wouldn't find me dead at one of these places. I'm not waiting in line 50, 60 people deep at a coffee shop. So if any of these people are locals and do this regularly, you you're absolutely wasting your finite time on this earth. If that's what you do with your weekend, you spend an hour waiting in line to get coffee and pastries. I mean, I have no sympathy for you when you say you get no time off, because we could give you unlimited time off. You would just waste it. But anyway, we're all waiting in line. No one's happy. Well, first of all, at one point, they need a door stopper. Very much lacking a door stopper.
Yeah, I mean, let me just paint the picture for the folks, okay? So we walk up, okay? There's a brick building. There's one door. It's not a double door. It's a single door. And there's no doorstop, like Andy said. This line's about 60 people deep. It's a very trendy brick building with the green ivy leaves on it. Okay, so it looks the part. It's trendy. It's hipster. The people in line look miserable. A lot of Ohio State fans, but we walk in line. Okay, we're just dealing with it, right? Cars are coming right through the line. People aren't looking. People are texting. I mean, just an overall nightmare. Now, we had time to kill, so this line actually ended up being great, because the last thing all 5 of us on the trip wanted to do was sit and stare at each other for any longer. So the line gave us an excuse not to do that, which was good, and it kept us from drinking at 8 a.m. for the second straight day.
We were trying to wait till noon.
So it was actually a good thing. Now, the problem arose when a gentleman wearing a Toronto Blue Jays hat decided that he wasn't going to be like the rest of the line and get in queue. If you don't know what a queue is, that's a line. This guy decided queues are not for me. I don't like queues. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the fake online order. Now, all 5 of us spotted this guy. We knew he was doing the fake online order before he even got up to the register, but guy walks by. He's on a mission. Walks by us, doesn't even look at anyone. He's not asking, oh, is this the one? No, he's not asking anyone where the online order, nothing. He goes up to the thing. Now, they don't immediately acknowledge him. I am having none of this. I go all the way up as well, following him, because I need to hear what's going on. Because I'm going to be damned if I've been waiting for 40 minutes and I'm still halfway through the line. I will not let this guy win. And so he starts to talk, and he's like, oh, I had placed an order. In my head, I'm like, you scumbag. I know there's no online orders
No
here.
chance.
No chance of online orders. But to save the day and to save an altercation between me and this guy with the Toronto Blue Jays hat, the guy properly pointed to the back of the queue and said, sir, if you want a nice coffee, you can go to the back of the line. It was one of the most wonderful moments of my life, but that guy, still a scumbag. He still tried to get in. Anyway, he ended up going to the back of the line. He squeezed by me without saying excuse me and touched me, which is one of my biggest pet peeves. I'm a big personal space guy in public, and this guy absolutely exposed that. I wish that was the end of the story. The guy gets back in line. He's probably 10 behind us. Later on, we're sitting at a picnic table. It's picnic table, probably like 3 in a row, right? That's so style. So we got 5 on one end. And this guy ends up having a family. I don't know how he has a family, but I did notice his wife wasn't there because probably she divorced him, which would make a ton of sense. Both kids are wearing Toronto Blue Jays hats, probably about 10 years old. He's teaching them horrible manners the whole time. You could tell they were just little shitbags. I went up to get a to-go box, and this guy was going up to pick up his espresso at the same time. I turned around with my to-go box. He was walking by at the same time. What do you think he said? Was he a polite Canadian? Was he a polite Ohioan? No, he wasn't. He said, watch out. Have you ever heard anyone say watch out in that scenario?
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty crazy. And, I mean, polite Ohioan, polite Canadian, I mean, 2 myths that were absolutely busted over the weekend.
Anyway, we belabored it. It was a crazy weekend.
I loved watching him in line. He looked very annoyed the entire time. His just body language, he was kind of leaning over, but in a very annoyed way. He just had an exasperated look on his face. Like, buddy, no one made you come get coffee here. Maybe he was visiting as well, but if not, just make your own effing coffee at home. It was crazy, and I love when they pointed him back to look in the line. It's like they were showing him, like, hey, you see how all these people are standing here? So they're not actually just doing it for fun. It's because that is the line in order to make an order. And he looked like, what? You want me to go to the back of that? It was like, yes. There's no way they'd take online orders. Otherwise, I bet all those people would have. Yeah. It was incredible. And just one of many insane people we met in Ohio. I mean, other people who were wild along the way. The Chili's employee at the airport, when our buddy asked if he could have a cup of water, looked at him with disgust, like, what? You want a cup of water and just laughed at them and didn't give them a cup. That was pretty interesting. I think they said, "Oh, we have a water fountain, so you can just drink out of that."
Go to the water fountain. Welcome to Columbus. Go get to the water
Even
fountain.
when you got that to-go box, I feel like they were very.
They were
very
like,
rude.
I asked
"We will
for-
give you this one box."
Oh, I
but
asked for 2.
no 2.
And he goes, well, how many items do you have? I said, oh, no, sir, that's irrelevant. I asked for 2 boxes. I didn't ask you to have me give you an inventory of my leftovers. I asked for 2 boxes. I've already done the inventory in my head. I need 2 because I have savory and I have sweet, and they can't mix. Because what if the frosting gets on the savory thing? Oof. Then it's too sweet and it's ruined your $30 pastries. So didn't appreciate that. That was called the fox in the snow.
That's
if anyone
right.
wants to know.
If you want to wait in line for 45 minutes for most regular coffee ever, you can do it there.
I actually thought it was subpar coffee, and the pastries did not age well. They sat in our fridge because they were shit in person, and I paid probably $60 at a coffee shop and got about $3 worth of enjoyment out of it, and the only enjoyment was because we got the story of the Toronto guy. Okay, last thing about our Columbus trip. We made a bonehead move. This is what a lot of boys' trips do, is they book the extra day way too long, okay? Flight game was Saturday night. We could have flown out probably Sunday morning, at least Sunday afternoon, but no. 2 months in advance, we were hyped up. We thought the 8 p.m. flight would be a great idea. We're like, oh, dude, that way we could go to the bar all day after drinking for 2 days.
Watch the Sunday
we
games.
could drink for 2 days, be hungover, and then on Sunday, we could drink all day in public
do hair of the dog
with our suitcases and then sit at one bar that's uncomfortable for 8 hours. So brutal move. However, the boys are resourceful. So Sunday, what do? We message Nate, the Airbnb guy.
Shout out to Nate.
And we ask him if we can extend the stay. Now, we weren't actually going to stay the night. We just wanted to be hungover in a house with a basement and watch the NFL in peace without having to act fake nice to a server all day. Absolute legendary.
Yeah, he bought us 8 hours. Shout out to Nate. Very reasonable, giving us the extension. A reasonable pricing on it. Also gave us body wash. I mean, there's a lot to like about Nate. Stay at Nate's house if you're ever in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, if you are in Columbus, Nate was one of the best Airbnb hosts I've actually seen. The house was great.
The nicest guy the entire weekend. Wasn't actually even there. Probably doesn't live there. So
probably his name's not even Nate. Also, Nate, please delete the Ring doorbell footage.
Don't look at the Ring doorbell
Don't
footage.
look at the Ring doorbell footage. Just delete it. You don't need to see it.
Yeah,
Listen,
it's a tough moment.
we cleaned the house up. It's looking good. Just please delete the Ring doorbell footage.
And you know how there's nothing we care about more than bringing you guys incredible content. We didn't want you to have to wait a full week for it. We tried to do a remote walk and talk podcast in Columbus. I thought it went incredible. There were some tough moments along the way. It started with our buddy Trent getting sniped by a bee on the ankle, the very bony part of the ankle. It was off to a rough start.
I thought there were red ants on me, man. I mean, it was one of the most painful bee stings ever. It was right on that part of the side of your foot, kind of where, I don't know, the bone that just sticks out on the side part of the foot. And I was like, what the hell? I got it on film. Our mic stand up. So, yes, that happened.
Basically, Trent got stung by a bee. He shook it off. We walked around
for 40 minutes.
40 minutes while crushing beers,
sweating,
talking in the microphone. The microphones were clipped on our shirts. But either way, we probably looked very bizarre to the people because we were having a conversation, but we weren't really looking at each other. We were staring forward and talking how we talk to you guys right now. We were talking about how everyone there looked so sketchy, even though we probably looked the sketchiest people. And then we get back, and it started, actually, no, the mics didn't record.
No, we weren't.
I had a great time on the wall.
We were not the sketchiest people, man. We turned right instead of left, and it got dark quick. I mean, I was telling Andy, I was like, listen, you see that guy tweaking over there because he had just taken the drugs? A lot of people would say, oh, no, I feel so bad for that guy. Like, he's going through it. No. That is the highlight of that guy's week. He just did heroin. He is on a high. That guy has spent 2 full weeks on the corner in the sun waiting for enough money to get that heroin, and he is living the life. So, yes, a lot of homeless in Columbus. Our Uber on the way to... I love talking to Uber drivers. I'm going to admit it. Okay, you get 4 beers into me. I turn into the guy that talks to the Uber too much. I fully admit that. I think it's hilarious. I don't know why I think it's hilarious, but I do it. And it's on command every time. So we get in the Uber. This guy has a giant, from basically door to door sized rear view mirror. I've never seen anything like it. This is the biggest rear view mirror ever. So naturally I had to say, sir, I love your mirror. And he said, well, the reason I got this mirror, do you know why? It's like, I don't, but I would love to know. He said, well, yeah, because last night an Uber got stabbed while driving someone in his car. So right off the bat, I'm shocked. I'm shocked that this guy was able to get a rear view mirror that big in one day.
Yeah.
That was incredible. What a pivot by that guy. I'm sure he feels so much safer now because if someone was going to stab him, he would see every square inch of that person while they're grabbing the knife. This mirror was huge.
Yeah, super impressive. I mean, he probably has Amazon Prime because that turnaround is incredible. It was a wild time in Columbus. I mean, it was a wholesome weekend. I couldn't even believe it. So many memories packed into such a short trip. When we first got there, I felt like it was the least remarkable new place I'd ever been to. I say, if you haven't been to Columbus, you can go. If not, it won't change your quality of life for better or for worse having experienced it.
In 6 months, people are going to go, hey, did you go anywhere this year? And you're going to think, and you're going, no, I don't think I went anywhere this year.
No memories of traveling.
No, I don't think. No, actually, no. I was in Tampa and St. Pete the entire year.
It's my first time there. I feel like I'd already been there 1,000 times.
Yeah, it was brutal. All right, guys. We're about 23 minutes in the pod. Thanks for sticking in. That was just, we had to get that recap out. We had to get the recap out.
Had to be done.
It's been in our heads since we got back. So, anyway, week 5 of the NFL. Up is down, down is up. The games are all over the place. Absolute insanity going on in the NFL. Very hard games to predict, but we're going to give you the recap. Then we're going to talk a little Mark Sanchez. We're going to talk NFL players who take back clear incomplete passes and they pretend they're fumbles and then run and waste all their energy on the way back. We're going to talk the Bengals and Joe Flacco. We're going to talk LeBron James and decision number 2. And then we're going to talk a little who's pumped, who's pissed, and bonehead of the week or knucklehead of the week.
That's right.
Whatever that is. All right. Getting right into it. San Francisco 49ers versus the Los Angeles Rams. Funny game here. San Francisco, man, Mac Jones pulling up in the absolute legendary two-tone suit. The Mac attack is back, but it's hard to even say that because he never left. Okay. But what was that headline that you read to us on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, this was absolutely crazy. When I read it, I thought it was one of those AI-generated sports articles that I see on my Facebook page that is so clearly not true that you just kind of laugh at it. It said that Mac Jones saw a dead body floating in the water from his hotel room on Thursday morning before their big Thursday night matchup. And it was just so caught me off guard. It seemed like a bizarre headline. I was reading it. It said that he looked out his window, saw a body floating in the water. It doesn't sound like Mac Jones reported to the authorities. It sounded like he just kind of casually mentioned it to teammates. Like they were down having some hotel breakfast. He said, hey, you know what I think I saw looking out my hotel room? I said, what's that? Some palm trees? He said, well, I think it was a dead body in the water.
The guy's cold-blooded, man. He's absolutely cold-blooded.
I mean, it was like nothing to him. The authorities were eventually alerted, but that part of it was so absurd, I couldn't even believe it. It turned out it was a very true story.
Very true.
So, I mean, shout out to him. Just absolutely shook it off. Played well again.
We threw up in the middle of the game.
Oh, he was nauseous, crushing bananas on the sideline. I mean,
pre-peeled.
What a day.
Yeah, pre-peeled bananas.
What a freaking day.
What a freaking day. The guy's riding high. Takes the 49ers 26, Rams 23. Yeah. What a game. Next game, early morning slate over in Europe, or not Europe because they're not a part of the European Union anymore, but it was in London. Vikings versus the Browns. Vikings 21, Browns 17. Lot to talk about, a lot of storylines. I do want to mention first, though, Carson Wentz just continues his dominance. He's really filling in well for J.J. McCarthy. J.J., it's a shame that you're ruining your chance in the NFL because you backwards dive into cold plunges. It's really sad that that's the reason why he's out. But Carson and the boys fly over there, get the late game-winning touchdown. Beautiful throw to Addison, who the coach kept out in the first quarter because he was, quote, violently
hungover, according to reports.
Yeah.
So, that was tweeted by NFL.com. So
yeah, just legendary. But
he had a good time in London.
Other storyline is the Browns, Andy.
Yeah, this Browns quarterback situation. We got our first glimpse of Dylan Gabriel, and this kid stinks. This kid looked like a deer in headlights. We were critical of the decision last week. I mean, if you're a Browns team, how can you even take this kid seriously? He looks like a little kid, and he looks scared whenever they're in the huddle. I'm out on this kid. Very
unfortunate photo after the game of Carson Wentz dapping him up. He made Dylan Gabriel look like a 5'2" Oregon/Oklahoma baby. Okay. He looked like an absolute baby out there. He made a 2 touchdown pass? Oh my God. Andy, you could have thrown those touchdown passes, man. Those guys were wide open. Plus he's got, Njoku, who's literally a cartoon character. So
he loved the camera. He had a great time enjoying the camera all weekend. I thought it was interesting how very wild NFL Network broadcast. It seemed like they only had 3 clips that they wanted to replay the entire time, and one of them was Njoku just doing a backflip in the end zone. I feel like I was pretty zoned out during the game, but I know for a fact I watched that at least 8 times, so that was pretty cool.
And his hurdle on the sidelines.
Guy is an absolute unit, but if you're the Browns, it's one thing. You want to start Dylan Gabriel. He was drafted higher than Shedeur Sanders. Fine, you're allowed to put out whatever team you want. But the fact they didn't let Shedeur Sanders travel with the team to London, I think that's pretty messed up. That feels personal to me. It's hard to imagine that's a football decision. I think Kevin Stefanski is burying the kid, and I don't know. I think the NFL should investigate.
Hey, listen here, Kevin Stefanski, you bully, all right? Let Shedeur Sanders get on the team plane and fly with his teammates over to London and let him experience a little NFL overseas, okay? That was an absolute dog shit move, not letting Shedeur Sanders fly with the team. Brown should be ashamed for that. Shedeur had to sit at home and watch his boys lose, but not for long, because Shedeur just keeps knocking on the door. And one of these days, they're going to let him in. And when they let him in, good luck, NFL. You are going to be sorry that you passed on this guy. You think Tom Brady getting drafted in the 7th round or 5th round is bad? Wait till Shedeur Sanders becomes the NFL's all-time leading passer and all-time leading rusher for quarterbacks. Shedeur Sanders is number 2, and he's soon to be number 1. And he might be number 2 on the depth chart, but he's number 1 in our hearts. Shedeur, don't mess it up when you get in. We're going to look like idiots. All right, next game on the slate, we had Denver Broncos versus Philadelphia Eagles. Broncos pulled it out 21-17. Storyline here is the Eagles absolutely self-imploding after winning a Super Bowl and going 4-0. You have A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith and now Saquon Barkley calling out their quarterback publicly. I think it's a sickening move. I think this is one of the most Philly things that you can do is just be a scumbag to the guy that got you your Super Bowl ring. Everyone should be kissing Jalen Hurts' feet, and instead they are publicly shaming him. Now, I will say the outfit that he wore in the post-game press conference, wild move by Jalen Hurts. So clean that up, Jalen. But other than that, don't listen to the haters. Keep doing your sneaks. Keep running the ball. Don't throw it more than 5 yards downfield. You know why? Because that's a winning formula, Andy. Winning formula.
That's right. Just take the little dink and dunk players when they're available. I don't think I've ever seen a less happy 4-0 defending Super Bowl champion team. It's like these guys, they're in the best situation in the world, and they just don't recognize it. It's like if you're A.J. Brown, you're Devontae Smith, would you be that much happier being on some crap team but getting targeted every play? I mean, the grass isn't always greener, and talent's not going to be able to hold the Eagles back. They're imploding from within. It's crazy to see.
Sirianni, get it together, buddy. Okay. Next game on the slate. Don't want to stick too long on it, but we got the Cowboys versus the Jets. Cowboys kind of just dominated the whole day. Dak Prescott continues to do really well in the regular season. We'll see what he's got in the playoffs if they make the playoffs. I don't really have too much to say here. Yeah, Cowboys just came out and dominated.
Jets now the only 0-5 team. Another tough season for them. They are on a collision course with Arch Manning, and I think they're a match made in heaven. That will be funny when it happens.
The Manning family does love New York, so that could
be.
They
love New York.
That could be a match. That could be a match. Next game on the slate, we had the Indianapolis Colts versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Well, Raiders fans, how do you feel? You gave Geno Smith $70 million cash money, and he's absolutely blowing it. I think he is like averaging 2 interceptions a game. The guy sucks, but Danny Dimes is back, man. Danny Dimes having a stellar season. They go in there and absolutely just dominate him.
Yeah, Danny Dimes is him. I mean, the combination of him and Jonathan Taylor, they're absolutely incredible. It's a modern-day Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith. This team is nasty. They're 4-1. They're looking like one of the favorites to win the AFC.
I love the Colts. Hammer the Colts' future if you can, okay? Next game on the slate, we had the NFL's most drinking alcoholic coach for the Miami Dolphins versus the Carolina Panthers. Panthers pulled it out 27-24. I have nothing actually to say about the game other than Tua absolutely sucks, and Mike McDaniel is on the hot seat. Put a little candle under his ass.
Yeah, I mean, he is absolutely checked out. He's broken. There was a clip of him just in disgust after the game, walking through the hallways, just ripped his glasses off his face because he was so disgusted. He basically said, yeah, our run defense blows, and that's not good. We got to figure something out. He's completely checked out. He's ready to be a coordinator again next year. And you know what? Happy for the Panthers in this one. News broke last week that there was a popular Panthers podcast called Meow Mix that was shutting down. The creators of the pod basically said, this team is so dreadful, I can't justify spending time away from my wife and kids to talk about this dreadful football team. Panthers on the way back. They get a big win over the Dolphins.
They're on the way back, but maybe that's the motivation the team needed. The what was it called?
Meow Mix.
The Meow Mix was done, and that was locker room bulletin board material for the Panthers. So happy to see Bryce Young get the win there for him. Next game on the slate, we had the Houston Texans versus the Baltimore Ravens. Texans 44, Ravens 10. CJ Stroud, hello. He's awake. He's awake.
Back, baby.
He is awake. The Texans are slowly crawling their way back into contention this season. So, but Ravens, season done?
Looks like this team has completely quit. And I've never seen the Ravens quit on John Harbaugh. I thought he was a great coach, but is it time to potentially make a move in Baltimore? Because I've never seen the Ravens have this little fight. Yes, Lamar Jackson's out, but guys look just disinterested right now. I mean, season from hell for the Ravens.
Baltimore, you might have to blow it up after this season. I mean, you might even have to trade Lamar Jackson.
To
get a franchise quarterback, sometimes you have to trade a franchise quarterback.
I mean, this team needs to hit the reset button.
Yeah, I mean, the San Francisco 49ers one time traded Joe Montana.
So even when Lamar Jackson was healthy, they weren't beating anybody good. He goes down. You think that maybe they still hang around. They're finally hitting a softer part of the schedule. No, they just packed it in. They said, oh, Lamar's out. I'm done.
So
let's just lose out.
Tough day to be a Baltimore fan. Next game on the slate, Tennessee Titans versus Arizona Cardinals. The game that should just honestly not have been played. Absolute barn burn, man. I think Kyler Murray got knocked out by a snap that just hit him in the head. We got people dropping the ball on the 1 yard line, running into the end zone. We had a monologue on this earlier, guys. Just cross the end zone line. Like, there should just be an instant rule in the NFL. If you do that, you are kicked out of the league for minimum 10 years.
Yeah, I can't believe how frequently this is happening. Like, we saw the infamous Deshaun Jackson play. Then I feel like we'd see one of these every 5 or 6 years. Now we're seeing one every week. This is absolutely crazy. And this play single-handedly lost them the game. They were up 21-6 at the time. We're about to go up, would have been 28-6 in the fourth quarter. Fumbling the end zone's a touchback. Why can't you just hang on to the ball? What makes the celebration that cool when you're just letting go of the ball? You know, afterwards, Jonathan Gannon, he lit into the Cardinals receiver on the sideline. He kind of bumped him, gave him a little push. Then I saw the next day, I didn't like this. He reportedly apologized to him in front of the team. No, take that apology back. You were more than right to light this dude up. That's a selfish play. It's a stupid play. He also wasn't benched. He won't let me bench going forward. If we're going to fine and suspend guys for hits or for taunting plays on the field, I don't see why we can't suspend a guy without pay.
You can't get up in front of your team and apologize to the guy that you just punched on the sideline for losing your team the game. There's millions and millions of dollars on the line for these NFL coaches, and that guy just ruined your chance of ever being a long-term NFL coach.
Oh, he won't be back next year.
I would have punched him right in the face, the guy, personally. And you know what? Bill Parcells back in the day wouldn't be apologizing to guys, okay? Punching used to go on all the time between head coaches and players. It's an NFL pastime. Okay, that's why there's so many cases of CT. It had nothing to do with football. It was just the head coaches were punching people in the heads all the time. But that game should never have taken place. Two horrible teams. Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield. Tampa Bay Bucks versus the Seattle Seahawks. Buccaneers get a last-minute win thanks to Levante David interception. Bucks kick a last-second field goal by Chase McLaughlin, and the Bucks stay hot. Baker, pregame, giving the finger, calling people names in the stands, then checking in with them after the game and saying, hey, buddy, what did I tell you? Baker, big friend of the program. The Bucks are rolling. And Emeka Egbuka, Rookie of the Year, lock.
Oh, he's killing it. I mean, becoming a household name. People are going to know how to say his name. by the end of the year. And I got to take a victory lap in this one. I predicted this exactly. I said the Bucs would win on a walk-off field goal. So pretty happy about that. Great uniform matchup. Both of them the throwbacks. I thought that looked awesome on my TV. And the Bucs, they're just a gritty team led by Baker. Every game they play is incredible. I think the Bucs are becoming must-see TV. Are they the best team in the NFL? I don't believe so, but they're the most fun to watch. This team is awesome.
I've actually watched all their games. They are the most fun to watch. They're really entertaining games. The Baker Mayfield style of play is very entertaining. It's very scrappy. He's got a lot of moxie.
There hasn't been a single meaningless snap their entire season. No garbage time.
It's great. Speaking of meaningless snaps, we go right into the Detroit Lions versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Jake Browning, 3 interceptions. The guy is insufferable to watch. Horrible quarterback. Lost all confidence midway through that game. Got some garbage time touchdowns, but the Lions and Dan Campbell keep on rolling, and they're eating kneecaps, my man.
Of course, there. Jared Goff had a great game. He was near perfect in this one. Could have been way less than perfect. Would have been more than enough. And things are tough for Bengals receivers because Browning stinks. But T. Higgins, I mean, they gave him big money in the offseason. Burrow said, no, you can't let this guy go. You got to pay him as if he's number one. No, we already have Jamar Chase. 13 catches in 5 games. And the guy's being paid as a number one. Brutal. I don't necessarily put all of it on him, but this is the problem when you try to build a team. The star quarterback who's always hurt and 2 wide receivers. You have no one to protect the quarterback. He goes down. And now what? You got some borderline pro trying to get the ball to these guys.
It's tough.
This team is broken.
The team's broken. The season's broken. Cincy fans, feel for you. I feel for you. You deserve better. Next game on the slate, we had the Washington Commanders at the Los Angeles Chargers. Commanders come in with a beautiful victory, 27-10. Commanders looking good. Jaden Daniels back.
Oh, he's back. He's absolutely back. Didn't even play that well, but it didn't matter. Justin Herbert might be a fraud. He might be a fraud. I wanted to like this kid. I wanted to like him from the time he was coming into the NFL draft. I kept hearing a story how he would return shopping carts even if they weren't his own. And that's a big character play. I like that a lot. Sometimes you got to be a little mean. You got to be a little mean to win in this league. We talk about Baker. I mean, guys making enemies everywhere you go. So Justin Herbert, nice kid. He might not have that it factor. I'm seeing too many no-show performances. I'm getting a little worried. I'm not writing him off. I'm a little worried about this Justin Herbert. What happened?
I can tell you what happened. His acne was back this week. When the acne's back, the self-confidence is low. When the self-confidence is low, Chargers play poorly because Justin Herbert is not using his Accutane properly. However, Madison Beers, I think that's how you pronounce her name, didn't seem to mind because they had a nice little pregame kiss. Justin, focus, buddy. Okay, focus. Okay, you got to make a run in the playoffs this year or else you're going to be labeled as a bust. Chargers, tough day. All right, Andy. I'm gonna let you talk about this one, but Patriots 23, Bills 20.
Yeah, this was a crazy one. You know, I tried to warn America. There are no longer any undefeated teams in the league because the Patriots handed the Bills their first loss. They did it in Buffalo. I mean, this one was a tale of 2 quarterbacks because I looked at one guy. He's in his second year. He showed a ton of poise. He was making plays. And I looked at another guy the other side. He's a former MVP who's been there, done that. And when things didn't go his way, he just wanted to take his ball and go home. I mean, it was incredible. I think the Bills took the Patriots lightly in this one. They thought this was the Patriots of the last 3 years. That would be a joke of a team. They were like, I think this loss will actually help the Bills because just because the Ravens have quit on their coach and the Chiefs' window is closed, it doesn't mean they're just going to walk to the Super Bowl. There are other serious threats in this AFC. It's a 16-team conference. I'm talking about Drake May and the Pats. I'm talking about Danny Dimes and the Colts. Stephon Diggs, revenge game. It was clear. It meant a lot to him to show his team, what a mistake they made letting him go.
How do you feel as a Patriots fan knowing that the only games Stephon Diggs is really going to show up for are against teams he played for previously?
It was funny to see. It was funny to see, especially him doing this whole leader, fired up about the outcome of the game thing. Man? It's very interesting. It was personal for him.
Patriots, listen. I've been there. I've seen Stephon Diggs on Sunday Night Football on national TV act like he's the best leader and some wise person or something. I've seen this story play out before. I'm just going to give you a little secret. It doesn't end well for you.
It won't end
doesn't
well.
end well.
It won't end well. We're only 5 weeks in, so
Yeah,
right now
it's
it's
a
the
long
honeymoon phase.
season.
Well, he's the veteran in a room of young receivers. They all talk about his leadership, which is very questionable. It's
He was leadership when he like missed training camp and he got caught with like crack cocaine on a boat getting Cardi B pregnant. But he's supposed to be like, every time they interview him, they're like, he's acting like he's a philosopher now. It's actually insane. He referred to Josh Allen as a kid like 5 times, which
they're like 3 years apart.
really pissed me off because I'm like,
1 year apart.
buddy, you don't just get braids in your hair and suddenly become smart. Stephon Diggs, the most insufferable character in the NFL in the last 30 years. I cannot stand him. Bills, guys, I don't know what happened. Now I have to wear a Tom Brady jersey during one of the pods. That was the bet.
That's right.
We lost. I kind of had a bad feeling, but I didn't want to admit it to myself. But you're right, Andy. They overlooked the Patriots and Mike Vrabel. As much as I hate the Patriots, for some reason, I do like Mike Vrabel. I just like his intensity.
He's such a football guy.
He makes me want to play for him. So, Mike, good job. Pat on the back and a clap of the hands. Well done. You will see me in a Tom Brady jersey. Apparently, it has to be a Patriots one at some point this season. Okay. Next game on the slate: Jacksonville Jaguars versus Kansas City Chiefs. This was a Monday nighter, and Patty. No going out of bounds. Mahomes thought he could lead his team to victory. Travis Kelce getting garbage touchdowns by clear picks at the goal line. But Trevor Lawrence and Duval come out and get the victory. Liam Cohen looking like an absolute genius early on.
Yeah, I think the Jags might just be a wagon. I can't even believe I'm saying this. Going into the season, I didn't expect anything from them. They're 4-1. That entire AFC South we might have slept on. The only division with 2 4-win teams right now. Mahomes, once again, just embarrassing himself. Wets the bed on national TV. I mean, this is crazy. The entire AFC has been flipped upside down. I mean, I don't want to hear about the Chiefs or Ravens ever again this season. Let's talk about Colts. Let's talk about the Jaguars. Liam Cohen for Coach of the Year?
I mean, as of right now, I would give it to him, yeah. I think that's...
Either him or Shane Steichen, someone in that division.
Oh, Steichen.
One of those guys.
I would actually probably give it to Steichen because think about it. He's taken a guy who failed at his previous team and he's turned him into MVP caliber versus Cohen took over a guy that was supposed to be like the next Tom Brady, Peyton Manning level, coming in.
He's been very, very average.
And he's been average. So, both impressive, but guys, all we learned from week 5 is these teams can all beat each other. There's no clear favorite. It's going to be a wild rest of the season. I think gear up, put your seatbelt on because it's coming. And, when you do put your seatbelt on, usually you're in a car. What do cars run on?
Well, they run on gasoline typically. Some are electric. But none of this would matter if you didn't have some tires. And I'm talking about the best tires in the game. I'm talking about Michelin. Because there was a lot riding on the games during week 5. And when you fire up that engine, there's a lot riding on your tires. They're always pumped out with Michelin. I don't know. Who's pumped after week 5?
Who's pumped after week 5? Who's pumped after week 5? Andy, I'm going to give it to you first. Who's pumped after week 5?
Who's pumped after week 5? America is pumped. America's pumped because the New England Patriots are back in the championship picture. Okay, you talk to anyone on the street, and they'll tell you, listen, yes, I would love to see my hometown team win a Super Bowl. But if not them, I just want to see the Patriots win one more. I've talked to fans of many teams. That's what they always tend to say. They say, I want to see them win one post-Brady. And that didn't look like it was on the table these last handful of years. The Patriots, they've got a guy at quarterback. They're back in the mix. I mean, if you don't like the Patriots, you don't like America. This is a great day for America.
My who's pumped this week is any opposing team that goes to Los Angeles will now have no music and no sound in the stadium. The Los Angeles Rams caught pumping in crowd noise into the stadium. Los Angeles, what are you guys doing? You got 2 NFL teams and you can't even show up to one of the games. I mean, it's embarrassing. It's sad. But opposing teams, if you're going to SoFi, you don't need any silent counts. You can make easy checks at the play. easy checks at the line for plays. And who's pumped? Anyone playing in SoFi for the rest of the stadium. Now, who needs better help this week? I'll tell you who needs better help. A lot of people in Columbus, Ohio need better help because they looked miserable. But BetterHelp, it's the easiest online platform to talk to someone that you don't really want to talk to, but your work is probably making you talk to someone to come back as your final chance to work for the company. So BetterHelp. Download the app today. Find your therapist. If you don't like them, you can give them a very bad review, and then they won't get any more work probably. My better help of the week is the guy who got absolutely destroyed by Mark Sanchez. Now, I want to have a bigger conversation about this, but entering into the day on, I believe it was Saturday, right?
That's right. News broke on Saturday.
News broke on Saturday. Absolutely heartbroken. One of America's heartthrobs, the butt fumble man himself, Mark Sanchez, pretty boy out of USC, not a blemish on his record. I thought he was fighting for his life because he got attacked in Indianapolis, which is also a very trash city sometimes. Not all the places there, but sometimes it can get a little trashy quick. And I was just hurt. The boys were talking. We were giving Mark Sanchez stories, all the Mark Sanchez stories that we remember growing up, 2 AFC championships that he blew, the butt fumble, all of his off-the-field antics with women. And then a twist happens. Everyone in the sports media, politicians, were saying their prayers for Mark Sanchez, and those tweets got deleted so quick. Once America found out that Mark Sanchez got absolutely tanked in Indianapolis on a Friday and absolutely destroyed a 70-year-old man, took him out of the car, beat the absolute crap out of him. 7-year-old tries to fight back with pepper spray, but you're not going to get Mark Sanchez. Mark Sanchez is part Mexican and loves peppers. Okay, he absolutely was not going to get affected by the pepper spray. And then the man pulls out a knife. Apparently, and this is what my sources are telling me, the knife was 12 inches long, and he stabbed Mark Sanchez basically right underneath the heart. Now, miraculously, Mark Sanchez is built like a ninja turtle. The guy is stumbling down the streets drunk, somehow is alive and well. But you want to talk about waking up from one of the worst hangovers of all time? You wake up from a blackout hangover. You have been stabbed multiple times. Your knuckles are bleeding from assaulting a man, and you are handcuffed to your hospital bed because you've just been arrested on a felony charge of aggravated assault. Tough day for Mark Sanchez, tough day for Mark Sanchez's family, and a tough day for Fox Sports.
Yeah. I mean, when the story first broke that Fox analyst Mark Sanchez had been stabbed and been detained, personally, I was shocked because I had no idea that he was an analyst for Fox Sports. I had probably watched a game where he was a color commentator before, but I don't remember anything he said because it definitely was not interesting. I won't get a chance to ever listen to him as a commentator because no chance he keeps that job. I don't think anyone has ever had less sympathy for them after being stabbed once we found out it was completely his fault. And sometimes you hear those stories of kind of like the bullied kid just eventually snaps back. I mean, this guy has just been getting dumped on for the butt fumble for years, which I thought was a lot of flack just for one play. Do you think this was his moment? This was his F the world moment? Like, I am getting back. He chose to take it on a 69-year-old man, and it sounded like he was highly intoxicated when he did it. Weird move. Like, pick on someone your own age or size. Mark Sanchez, I mean, he should definitely see some jail time. This is wild.
He should. The boys are fired up for the surveillance videos to come out, though.
Yeah.
We need this.
When that drops, we'll have a special pod when that drops.
Reddit, someone on those dark websites, we need this video. Hack into the police. Hack into that camera. We need this footage, please.
TMZ's on it.
TMZ, come on. We need something. All right, Andy, who needs better help from you this week?
Who needs better help? We hit on this a little bit earlier, but who needs better help? Anyone in the Los Angeles metro area who wanted to eat a banana anytime soon? Because I swear to God, Mac Jones on the sideline, I think he might have eaten all of them. He was putting them down like they were nothing. It was an absolutely wild performance. Like we hit on earlier, he had a crazy day. Someone else tangentially might need some better help. I'm looking at Brock Purdy because Mac Jones is now 3-0 in games as he started. They put Brock Purdy back in the game last week. Made the move back to Jones during the week. The 49ers are saying that Brock Purdy re-aggravated his injury. I think that could be a cover-up. They don't want to show him up. They are kind of creating a phantom injury because they realize that Mac Jones gives them the better chance to win. This might be the last time we see Brock Purdy as the 49ers starter. He might be selling insurance next year.
I feel like he would actually be a pretty good insurance salesman because I feel like he asks questions and finds solutions, and he doesn't just immediately just talk and try to jam insurance down people's throats.
He would do great in the white-collar world. I think Brock Purdy would land on his feet if he didn't find an NFL gig.
He was one pick away from being an insurance agent. So, you know what? Good on you, Brock Purdy. You secured the bag before everyone realized you sucked. Mac Attack is back. Good call on that. All right. So, this week, Knucklehead. I'm pissed, okay? Knucklehead of the week this week is LeBron James. He absolutely duped America. I feel bad for all the fans. So just to give some context, he put a tweet out the night before, and it's him walking up in a gym, and he's trying to recreate the decision, okay? If you don't remember the decision, when he was leaving Cleveland the first time, he held a big event called The Decision live on ESPN where he was going to announce which team he was going to play for. So he hypes up this thing on Twitter, tweets it out, Instagrams it out. Everyone's freaking out, right? Now, I immediately knew that it was going to be an advertisement, but apparently 99% of people on Twitter are stupid. They're absolutely stupid. So everyone's like, oh, LeBron, he's going to retire. That's not how LeBron would announce his retirement. He's going to do it in a way flashier way. However, comes out the next day, the video comes out, the full video after the tease, and it is all about Hennessy. So he's got like a partnership with Hennessy, which if you guys don't know what Hennessy is, then good. Never find out because it's a horrible liquor. And I just don't know if people are going to be able to trust the knucklehead LeBron James anymore after he duped America into buying tickets. Apparently, the last game of the season, the ticket prices were $80 going into it. This is LeBron and the Lakers' last game of the season. And they were selling for like $600 because people thought it was going to be his last regular season NBA game. Those people can't get refunds, LeBron. I mean, the least you can do is give those guys refunds. LeBron, do the right thing. You're a billionaire. Take care of the people that just wanted to come and see you play, but you duped them to do an alcohol ad. Shame on you, LeBron.
Yeah, LeBron's absolutely insufferable, and a lot of people thought this could end up being a retirement announcement, but I figured it was way too last minute. I mean, this guy is going to have a build-up to the retirement announcement. Some people during the last couple of seasons said, hey, could he retire after the season? No, he's going to make sure the entire world knows, so he gets his retirement send-off tour every city. There's no way a week or two before the season starts, just casually, he's going to drop, oh, by the way, this is my last one. No, you will know so far in advance. It will be insufferable. Because compared to any other all-time great athlete, no one has needed to be told how awesome they are so frequently like LeBron James is. I feel like he is lacking love somewhere in his life. Very low self-esteem for an all-time great. He's annoying, and he won't go anywhere after retiring. It's a great call on your knucklehead.
I mean, he just keeps coming back like his hairline every year, man. I mean, that hairline just keeps moving up, but yet, like, during the season, you see it move back. So he's got all the money in the world. He's fixing his own hairline. Andy, who is your knucklehead of the week?
Yeah, my knucklehead of the week, it's pretty much everyone on the Philadelphia Eagles offense. I mean, we talked about it a bit before. This is just the most unhappy group of people who are in the best situation possible. Yes, they lost this past week, but what more do you possibly want? A.J. Brown, you sound like a freaking loser. Everywhere you've gone in your career, you've won. Since you've gotten to Philly, they've been in the Super Bowl mix every year. Do you think you're never going to get the ball? It's 5 weeks in. They're going to play some big games down the stretch if they're going to go another Super Bowl run. Would you be happier just getting traded to the Jets and getting targeted every time? I don't know. These guys sound like a bunch of freaking losers. You sound like knuckleheads because they're guys who will play 15 years and will never get to play in the playoffs. You're a bunch of knuckleheads.
Do you think that these guys actually even care about winning anymore? And that's a serious question. I'm not being facetious. It's like, do these guys actually care about winning? Coming off of a Super Bowl and then complaining and doing it publicly about your quarterback who just won you a Super Bowl is one of the craziest things that's not being talked about enough. I feel like everyone is for some reason, the sports media on A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith's side on this one, and then like also talking trash about Jalen Hurts. Jalen, keep doing your thing, buddy. You figured out a formula with Philly to make them win and be on top of the world again. You don't need to change a thing, okay? Philly is a great football team. Nick Sirianni needs to address what's going on in the locker room. And Saquon Barkley, shame on you for joining your receivers and trashing your quarterback this week. Yeah, you guys want to get better. Great. Talk about it amongst yourselves, okay? Figure out how to talk to the media without actually letting people know what you actually think. No one cares about what you actually think. I don't even know why they're talking to these guys. I don't care what A.J. Brown has to say. He's a receiver. Sit down and don't shut up. Keep going. I like it. But, yeah, that's a good knucklehead, man.
Yeah.
Okay, Andy, I think we should finish the pod with anything that's left on your mind. Anything you want to talk about? Is there anything that you think the world would like to hear us talk about more? Now, keep in mind, we're 57 minutes into the podcast. We probably, if we're lucky, have one listener at this point. So just like the 10th page of Google, you can really fit anything you want into right here.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the time for us to talk about YoPlay.
Okay.
Because I know we both have pretty busy mornings. Sometimes in the morning, I'm just scrambling. I'm doing 5,000 things at once. I don't have time. I don't have time to do it all. Sometimes breakfast gets skipped. But with YoPlay, I mean, they've got delicious flavors. We're talking strawberry, vanilla, peach. It's just so quick and easy. It's packed with calcium and protein. It makes me breakfast. It can be just an on-the-go snack during the middle of the day to keep me full. So, I mean, there's really no one who does it quite like YoPlay. They're the best in the business. Shout them out.
It's interesting that you bring up YoPlay at a time like this in the yogurt world.
Right.
You know that Greek yogurt has taken YoPlay's market share unlike anything we've ever seen. And for all of those people who really do like YoPlay and the YoPlay Goes, what were those things called?
It was
you know, like the things you'd squeeze.
It's a Go-Gurt, I believe.
The Go-Gurt. Yeah, is that YoPlay or is that?
Is it YoPlay? You know what is YoPlay? Remember Yo Crunch?
Oh, is
Yo
that the one with the
Crunch.
M&Ms and the stuff on top
Exactly.
that you put in?
Haven't seen those in a while. I hope they're still around because that was a great invention.
You know, it's actually something I think we should talk about. I think we need to
let's
delve
get
into
into
that a little bit more. Do you have to go to softball though?
I do. I think I'm already gonna be late, but
Okay.
hey, whatever.
All right, no, that's fine. We'll save that for next week, guys. Thanks for tuning in to episode 10 of the Lawn Chair Sports Podcast. Andy's got to go play some softball, so
Hey.
we're done. It's just ending.
It's been a good
done.
one.
Thanks for comment, like, subscribe, anything you can do to help the pod. We need it, please.
That's-